Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg and I am a lover of all things beauty and makeup, and I wanted to revisit a palette that I just really enjoy playing with but just haven't picked up in a little bit just with other launches and that happening, and that is the Wicked Witted Beauty Resurrection palette. I just want to come back to this. Oh, here, let me just open it up so you can see it. I'm sure you have seen it already. But just, it is such a stunning color story. It has such magical shades. And I just really think that there's so much more that I can do with this. So I wanted to do another 3 looks, 1 palette video. It's something I'm enjoying exploring right now. And I thought, what better palette to do that with than this one? So if you're interested in seeing what more looks I can create with this, then keep on watching. Does anyone else ever find that like when you have like nails on, whether it's like a nail set or press-ons, you're just so much more like with your fingers? I just am totally that person, and so I threw on some press-ons for this video. Not something I can promise to do all the time, but sometimes I like them to look pretty, and I feel like I just want to keep clacking them. Anyways, let's jump into the first look. I thought it would be fun to explore something a little bit more on like the fiery side with this. I feel like I definitely have explored be in frame this side a bit more, and we'll definitely like hit that up because we're doing 3 looks. But for this first look, I definitely want to do something involving these 5 shades here for sure, and we'll see what else we end up pulling in. But that is where my mind is going. A little sip of beverage, and let's go right in. So I am going to start off with, and so the kind of look I'm going to do, it's definitely a style I've done before, but I want to do like kind of like some shading up here with some mattes, kind of have like a blank on the lid, and then just like shading of the same ones in the outer corner kind of winged out, and then bring the shimmers onto the lid. And then I'll probably do like some gems or something sort of in the upper corner here. We'll see what's happening like with the wig and the tube. I don't know if that will kind of work as much without me feeling like it's going to knock off, but let's see what happens. So we're first going to go in with this. I don't know who this is from, but it's a Chisel Smudger brush. It might be like an old Morphe brush. And I'm just going to go in with this shade here, Rebirth, which is the matte red. And we're going to pick that up, and I'm just going to start sorting out the shapes. So we're going to go in right here and kind of curve it around. And we can like clean up that inner edge too, but I just want to like kind of figure out placement. And then I'm also going to kind of sort out the wing as well. Just like that. Next, we're going to go in with the orange shade here called Ritual, and I'm going to take that on this BH Cosmetics brush. Just dab that in, and we're just going to start building on to that shape. Again, we're not worrying about like blending out too much yet. When we kind of have all that down, we'll sort out kind of the blend a bit more. And normally like my biggest part of the blend is with the lightest shade. And then I'm sure you guessed it, but also going to place that on the inside there. And don't worry if we're losing any of that red, because we'll bring it all back. And I had a little thought process, and I might actually change it because I really want to include the red shimmer Devotion on the lid, and so I feel like if I start going like light, like dark to light inwards, it's going to be harder to introduce that. So I think I'm going to like bring the red more onto the lid and then like blend outwards with the lighter shades. So I'm going to take that Ritual shade and actually just start placing it sort of below and outside of that red. And then I'll reestablish like the red on top once we get back to that. So next I'm going to go in with the yellow, and it's called Reminiscence. Oh my gosh. It's so hard to like tell what I'm doing in the monitor sometimes. And I'm picking that up on, this is a Royal Langnickel Smoky Eye. I think this is like the first time I've used this yellow. I'm not normally like super drawn to yellows. So to be fair, like they're just shades that kind of go unnoticed for me in palettes, but this is very vibrant and beautiful. Coming from someone who's not a huge yellow person, I really like this. Just like that. And then we're also going to take it down here. Almost giving me some of those like yellow blush vibes. And we'll fix this up a bit more when we do like the lower lash line as well. But just to get some of that initial pigmentation laid down. Okay, I'm going to go back in with Ritual the orange, and now I'm grabbing this on a Morphe M578, just sort of a similar to the brush that we used on the yellow, just a bit smaller. And again, picking up some more of the orange Ritual, and we're going to start just building up that pigmentation. I'm just going to jump back in with the yellow a little bit right away just to make sure that the blend is smooth. Nice thing about using shades like these though is like they're meant to work so well together that it's just really easy to make them blend. Okay, now with another brush, I don't even know who did this one. I think it's a Moda, if I'm reading that right. And it's just like a smudger brush, just a little sort of flat rounded brush. We're going to go back into the red, Rebirth, and I'm going to start building back up that red. And again, I'm not too worried if it like dips down onto the lid because we can always clean that up. And I'm just trying to like lightly blend the edge a little bit, and then I'm picking up that prior brush. I just slightly dipped into Ritual the orange, and I'm just going to try to just make sure that the edge on that blends smoothly. Right, and then I want to build up the red a lot more on my lid, like at the top, like I said I was going to do, so that way the blend gradient is going down and outwards, just like that. So that way when we use that shimmer, we'll have something for it to blend into easier. And then, like with everything, going in, trying to make sure that the blend is seamless, which is not taking, like it's taking little to no effort on my part to blend all these. It's great. I think it's a combination both of the amazing formula and also just of how well these shades work together. I know, something happened while I was off screen. After I cut the crease, cleaned up on the lid, I decided I wanted to add some graphic liner. I hummed and hawed about what shade to add. I thought I was going to go with more like an orange or a yellow just to keep it like super like cohesive. And then something just said, add a pop of pink. And I went with it. I'm happy with how it looks. I think it is a fun little addition, just adds some dimension to the look. I'm happy with it. That's all that matters. I didn't do the liner on screen. I did some liner on screen in my last 3 looks video, and I think you've seen it in action. We're good. I'm just gonna probably do most of my liner off screen now. Anyways, I went in and I placed some NYX glitter glue on the lid. Shocker, I know. I used a Luxie 245 small shader brush for that. And I am going to dip into, hold this out without digging into it. I'm going to first dig into the red shimmer called Devotion, and then I am going to use this gorgeous multi-chrome here called Mosaic. It comes across as very like super like bright orange with tinges of yellow and stuff to me in person, but I do feel like it has some really pretty pink shifts, which, hey, should go with that liner nicely. So I'm going to first dip into Devotion. I'm going to go straight in with that same brush. Gosh, this shade is so beautiful. Oh, gosh, I just love it so much. I love a red shimmer. I don't use them as much just because I just don't feel like, at least in my collection, that I have a lot of red shimmers that are just this magical, but just look at that. Oh my gosh. This would be like such an amazing, like just with like a little bit of something in the crease and that all over the lid. Ooh, I think that would be beautiful. I'm going to flip the brush over and I'm going to dip into Mosaic. It's definitely like Devotion is a bit smoother of a shade. Mosaic definitely has more of like the sort of like flakes and like flecks in it. But I don't find like still feel like it's easy to work with. Some formulas that are like that can be like really difficult, but I find this one picks up nicely. It doesn't quite like go all over the place, which is awesome. So we're just going to take this and work it all the way up for like the rest of the lid up to where we did the graphic liner, which I guess like in hindsight might have been better for me to put on after I did this so I could kind of cover up where the shimmer and the matte met with the liner, but learn from my mistakes, don't repeat them. But we're just going to keep filling this in all over the lid, and then we will figure out what we're doing on the lower lash line. Time for the lower lash line. I can't help it. I love using the Melt Cosmetics gel liners for both my waterline and then also to just like bring down onto the lower lash line a bit for a bit of a base down there. So I'm going to go in with, this is Terrible Vision from the Nightmare Before Christmas collection. This was from the part 1 where it was Halloween Town. And I'm just going to take that on. This is like a precise eyeliner brush from Essence. I used to use these for my brows all the time when I used to draw them on before doing like the temporary tattoo brows that I've been loving of late. But just like that, I'm just gonna put the lid on this right away before I somehow get stuff everywhere. And I'm going to first go in with a little bit of Rebirth, the red, on that very first brush we used. And that's mostly to help set that liner. But I find just like doing that, like going in with something like a gel liner, it just, the way it just fills in any of kind of the gapping, like where my lashes are to like my waterline and that, I just feel like it makes it so seamless and just makes a huge difference in the overall look. So that's one of my huge go-tos. Thanks. Going in now with Ritual, the orange, on the first brush that we use that on. And I'm trying to just like pick up just a little bit of pigment. I don't want to like go too crazy. And I'm just going to start kind of like just blending that out just a little bit more. I especially don't want like the inner corner to like get too blown out. And then we're going to go in with the first brush that we used with Reminiscence and pick up a little bit more of that. We're just going to, not all the way in, but towards the inner corner, start blending that out a bit. Just like that. So I think that's like more or less the eye look. We're just going to go catch up the other eye, put on some lash, like basically finish the look, and then I will come back and show you the finished first look using the Resurrection palette again, and we'll go from there. Okay, look number one is complete. This is how it turned out. I'm really happy with it. These shades, like they all just go together so perfectly. I love that I went with the pink liner. I just think that really pulls together with like the shifts that's in that mosaic shade, and just, you know, pink with like the reds and the orange and the yellow. I just think just perfect. For my inner corner, I went in actually with what I used on my face highlight, which is another Melt Cosmetics product. It's another one from The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's the True Love Never Dies Digital Dust Highlight. I used this on my face, and so I decided it would be a great one to use on the inner corner because it's got like that kind of like orangey and pink gold shift to it. So I really love how that turned out. Some Ione lashes. Do I ever know the style? No. And for my lips, I went in with a combo of the Melt Cosmetics Perfectionist Lip Pencil in, which one is this one? Cashmere. Just love a good nude. And I went in with a newer to me product. This is the Ulot Cosmetics Moisture Shine Lipstick in Dolce Vita. They sent this to me, and I did like a little, I did a look on my Instagram featuring some of the products, but I just really, really enjoy these. They're definitely like, you know, they are creamy and that, so not transfer proof, but the formula is really comfortable. It's super pigmented. It's really pretty. I like it. So far, I definitely really recommend these. Have really enjoyed them. But that is our first look complete using the Resurrection palette from Wicked Widow Beauty. If you enjoyed this, then you might as well keep watching. Let's head on over to look number two. Okay, time for look number two. For this look, I really want to do something just to show off one of the shimmers, which is a stunning shimmer, the one that I know I'm going to go with. And then also just play with a lot of like gems. I just can't help myself. I just really want to get in there. So it's not going to be as intricate with the shadows, but hopefully you'll still enjoy what I'm creating, but it's just kind of what I'm feeling, so I'm going to go with it. So to jump right into it, we're going with the purples, and I think I'm going to take like a little bit of this deepest purple Chapel just to create like a little bit of depth, but we don't really need to do too much because the gems I'm going to do, I want to do something like very like heavy on the inner corner, kind of going into like the crease, and then like a nice like wing with them and stuff. So other than kind of the lid and like the lower lash a bit, like we're not going to see too much of the shadows. But to start off with, I'm going to, like I said, grab that Chapel shade and this e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to lightly dip into that, tap off, and start to place this on the inner corner just a bit. Just like that. And then just a little bit on the outer corner as well, winging it out a little bit, but again, we're not worrying about too much pigmentation. And then, just with a nice fluffy brush, let's go with, sure, let's do this one. It's a Luxie 207 medium angled shading brush. And I'm going to go in with the light purple Belief. I'm going to pick that up, and we're just going to blend out that other shade a bit. Again, not doing anything like too much. And I'm not really worried if I lose the depth a bit there. And I'm not going to go back in and, like, normally I'd go back in and I would build up the depth again, but I just don't feel like I need to do that. And I'm just going to lightly kind of go across the crease here. Again, I feel like a broken record right now. Don't need to go in there and create like a lot of color or anything, because we mostly just want like the gems and stuff to kind of go off on their own. All right, just like that. And then I need my glitter glue, NYX glitter glue, as always. And I think I'm actually just going to go in with my finger because we're not doing anything like really structured or anything. So just want to slap this all over. Probably should like think when it comes to like actually placing the gems down, I'm going to have to pin my hair out of the way. And then I'm going to go in with this shade Ethereal. I know I've used it in a look before, but I just love it so much. It's definitely my favorite shade in the palette. Just like, oh, just look how magical that is. We're going to put that all over the lid. And it's fine if it takes up most of like where the matte shadows are, because realistically everywhere that this isn't, and even onto this a little bit, is going to be gems and stuff. So I'm okay if that goes on those. But I think we need to clip this hair out of the way. Okay, and then going in with some lash glue, I am just going to like slather this on my inner kind of corner area a bit, because we're just going to be placing a bunch of stuff like side by side, so I don't need it to be individual dots. And I'm going to do like the first kind of few like here, and then I'll probably do some like fast forwarded footage, and then we might even just eventually cut to kind of stuff being done, because I just don't think we need to sit here like in some sort of silence while I place gems on my face. I have an assortment of like different kind of like pearls and gems, like in like the pinks and purples and all that kind of stuff. It's sort of what inspired this look. So I'm just going to kind of go in like sporadically with them. I'm going to kind of just, I guess, figure it out as I go along. And we'll go from there. Sometimes I have a love-hate relationship with gems, or even my gem picker things. All right, so let's place that one there, sure. I don't really have, I guess I could have sat here. Oh my gosh, bloody gem thing. I'm gonna try to like stay in frame somewhat. I guess I could have gone in and like laid out a design just so I kind of had a bit of a concept and idea, but I didn't, so we're just gonna roll with it and figure it out. But as you can see, I'm just placing some stuff down. Actually a bit big, something a bit smaller for right there. Let me do this one. That works. All right, so I think I'm gonna like continue on. The rest will just kind of be with some music over it and maybe sort of sped up a bit, just so you can see a little bit more, so this look isn't just like 2 seconds of footage. But I'm sure you sort of get the general idea. So See you on the other side of this. Okay, I think that's kind of where we're going with that. Hopefully the application wasn't too much of a hot mess to watch. So I'm going to go in with another Mel Cosmetics gel liner. Shocker. We're going to go in with Nightshade, which is from the Bailey Sarian release. It's just like this like deep purpley blue. And we're going to grab that just on like a angled brush and stamp that all along the waterline and kind of onto like the lower lash as well. Like that. And then I think we're going to actually go in with the same brush we used for the lid and go back into that deep purple chapel. We're just going to start blending this out. Like so. We'll probably bring some of the gems like a bit more down on the outer corner. And then I'm going to go in with that same brush that we used for Belief and just lightly blend under for that. And then I think on my pinky, I'm going to take a little bit more of that ethereal shade and just, oops, I think I probably should have used a brush and not my pinky for that. Learn from your mistakes. Almost went back in with my pinky. Just taking a random like nail art brush that I have. I don't have like a name for it or anything. And just grabbing a bit of ethereal on that. And just like blending out right there. So it's pretty much like it for the shadows. I'm going to just place like a few more gems, kind of like connecting down into here. Put on some lashes, obviously do the, sorry for the hiccup, obviously do the other eye, and then I will come show you the finished look. Okay, here's look number 2. I really love how this turned out. I know it wasn't like a super complicated look when it came to like using the shadows themselves. I only used 3, and 2 of them I basically covered up with gems. But I just really liked the direction this took. I'm really happy with it. I just think it's fun, sort of ethereal, magical, and I'm just vibing with it. Added some bottom lashes from Ioni. It's some of their cluster ones. And then the top lashes, I'm also wearing Ioni, and I actually have a package for once. These are from, I think they're called like Lash Party, and they're Socialite. And these are wispy full dramatic cat eyes, but like those. Yeah, I just really like how this look turned out. I thought it was fun. It was a lot of work and a lot of gems for me to have this on for probably about 10 more minutes and then take it all off because I'm filming at night. Lips, I went in with ColourPop, one of the lippy pencils. This is, or sorry, it's a lippy pencil. Yeah, lippy pencil. Oh my gosh. In the shade Marshmallow. I've had this for so long. I probably shouldn't have this anymore, but it's still kicking, so I'm using it. It's the only purple lip liner I have. And then I went in with NYX Cosmetics, one of their suede matte lipsticks in lavender and lace. I just really love this for like a purpley kind of nude. I definitely think like this is the result of like the lipstick and the liner blending together quite a bit. And I was still wearing a bit of the lip oil that I had on during the look on. I didn't think to wipe it off. So it's a bit like creamier and more emollient than I think it would normally be, seeing how it's supposed to be a matte lipstick, but that's fine. Again, I won't be wearing this for very long, but yeah, I just really like how the final look turned out. I think it was a lot of fun to create this. I feel like I was kind of inspired by, I think she's called like the Ballerina Bride MUA. on Instagram. She just always has like the most amazing looks, especially like using like gems and stuff like that. And I just really wanted to do something fun and really big and magical. So hopefully that's what we created. Hope you enjoyed this. Enough rambling. This is look number 2. Let's move on to look number 3. For this third look, we're going to do something ambitious because I want to recreate a look by Katie Cat Meow on Instagram. I love her work and I just have been loving this look for quite a while. I've had it saved. Hopefully you'll be able to see. So I always turn it the wrong way. Anyways, there it is, the look. I just think it's really cool, fun. It's a bit more of a structured look, which I've been trying to like, you know, like practice and like push myself to try more of. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I thought it would be fun to try something like that today. And yeah, let's just get started into it. Okay, we're going to start off with the black center, and I'm just going to take this little Essence angled brush. Yeah. I guess we won't worry too much about sort of like the below part, just because we're gonna clean it up anyways. All we're trying to do right now is create that initial shape that we can blend out from. Okay, I did it on both eyes because anytime I'm doing anything kind of sort of structured, I always need to try to do both eyes sort of at the same time to make sure it's as even as possible. So next we're going to go with, I haven't like really like dipped into the greens in this palette yet. So I'm going to take the deeper green Sanctuary, and I'm taking that on this MAC 213. It's starting to rub off. I've had this brush for forever. And I'm just going to lightly dip into that and start to just build on top. The thing when a lot of your brushes are dirty is ideally I would go in with something a little smaller probably, but those are the brushes I always use, so of course it is dirty. Okay, now we're going to go into this green here, Heavenly Realm, sort of like an army green. You have to see kind of, I don't really remember how dark it is. I'm going to go in like really lightly, and it's with a Morphe M562. It's just a small little blender brush. And we're just going to start trying to blend out. And we'll just go in with like little bits at a time. We do have like this like light kind of cream color in the palette called Divine Light. I might pull that in just to kind of sort of go over stuff a bit, just to help lighten it up as much as I possibly can, but we'll see kind of what we get. It's not too bad though. Like I do like that blend. Like there's also just like, I probably went in a little too high and heavy with like the darker shades. So I don't really have a lot of space to blend anything else, but oh well. Okay, so we have cleaned it all up. Like I went back in, I made sure like the blend for the shades was as intense and kind of smooth as I wanted. Hopefully it looks good. I cut out, like I cleaned up with Q-tip and micellar water to make sure the lines were clean, and then I went back in with more of my P. Louise cosmetic base. This is in Rumor 0.5, which is what I use for like my like eyeshadow primer, just to like help create like a more clean canvas again, and just make sure that any of the spots where like you're still gonna see like my eyelid in between like look just good and solid. So that is that for that. Now we're gonna go in and do like the winged out part. Also, you might notice I went ahead and added my blush because I hadn't done it yet. I went in with Honey Thief from Melt Cosmetics. It is like my all-time most favorite blush ever. And I just realized that as I kind of like winged out the makeup more, it would be a bit harder to get my blush on later. So I went ahead and applied the blush. So I'm going to go with the same brushes, and I'm first going to go with the little angled brush and that Center shade. Let me pull up the picture again because my phone has now since locked. And yeah, so it looks like we kind of just do like a swoop sort of a thing. Anyways, oops, sorry. Hopefully the lighting didn't change there. I accidentally turned off my vanity light. So it kind of goes a bit down and then swoop. So and then we're going to go back into Heavenly Realm. I'm going to try to take a smaller brush. This is a Glamour brush that I think I got in like some sort of a, whether it was Ipsy or BoxyCharm, like forever ago. It's got these like super cute hearts like floating in it. Anyways, and we're going to take this. I just think I want to make sure that I'm not going up too much because I just don't want this to get like muddy. So I just want to be able to add, why am I going? I'm not going to Heavenly Realm yet. We're going into Sanctuary, sorry. The darker green. And we're just going to take that, and I'm going to barely kind of put any at like the tip area. But then as we get like more to like the arch and the swoop kind of thing, we'll add a little bit more pigmentation. And then taper it out again. Just like that. And then I feel like I need something even smaller than what I have. What have we got as an option? I guess I could always try using this. It's just like one of the dual-ended Anastasia Beverly Hills brushes that I got with the palettes. And we're going to take like the more like packer side, but I'm going to try to use this as like a blending sort of a brush. And we're going to lightly dip into Heavenly Realm. And we're going to start to very gently buff. Like that. Also try not to like blend away my brows. I go through like different kicks, like whatever like phases with my brows. And I still love like the tattoo brow, but I've just been getting like super irritated with them recently. So like with the application, it's just been annoying me. So I kind of gone back to drawing them. Not even kind of going back. I drew them on today. And I feel like I have to be so careful like not to smear my brow everywhere. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more Sanctuary right here. Deepen it up. But I really like how that is looking. A little bit more of Center. And we can always like clean up, like we are going to clean up below the line again, so it's not a big deal if I bring it down a little bit too low. I'm more worried about how it's doing like up top and making sure that I have like the blend and the finesse that will make me happy. Okay, I am really excited and happy with how this is turning out. So often I would look at a picture like this and just be so intimidated and just feel like I can't do it. And I've just been really happy that I've been pushing myself to try to like recreate some of these looks that I've just admired for so long. So now that we have both sides like cleaned up, again, a little bit more of the eyeshadow base, probably could try to set it down. Actually, I am going to do that. just like very lightly, at least like along the edge. I'm going to go in with Divine Light, which is just like this like light cream shade. And I'm just going to like lightly. I probably should have done it before I even did up here, but I'm just going to do that to just make sure that the base doesn't get all creasy looking in the spots where you're still gonna see some skin. So you can't even like really tell, like it basically looked like I didn't put anything on, but I did. So now I'm still gonna go back in the center and we're gonna create like sort of just like the lid shape, which is just essentially like, you know, a nice like winged out sort of lid. I'm going to switch brushes just because I feel like this Essence one I'm using, it's just like really kind of thick. It's probably more so just because it's an older brush now. Just the amount of times I've washed it, it's just gotten like very like fluffy. I think if you use it like with a cream product, it does flatten out nicely. I used to love using them for like creating brow hairs and that, but I don't really kind of do that so much anymore. But I'm going to take this, it's like the thinnest sort of angled brush I feel like I can find right now in my collection, and it's by ColourPop. It's just like one of their like little like brow angled brushes. Hopefully you can see that. I think it came like with like the set when you got like the brow soap wax, whatever. Like you can get a set with the brush. Anyways, I'm going to go back in the center and we're going to start off on the inner corner and and I'm just trying to be a little bit more careful with this. Like if anything, I'm trying to like, I don't care if it pulls inwards more because we're going to fill that in, but I want to be a little bit more crisp with where it is like with the space, because I don't want to have to like go in and like clean that up again. Like I will, but I'd rather not. Sorry if I'm at a weird angle. I'm trying to like rest my arm down on the table so that way I am more steady for what I'm trying to do. But I just want to create like the entire shape here with this, just so that way we know where we're going to go. Actually, a great product that I could have gone, I'm just not going to bother now that I've gone this far, but would have been a great time to pull in one of the melt gel liners. I have to pull up in the picture too and see. But those would work great to help determine where we want to go. Sure, we'll do that. I think I'm even going to clean up like this, like one kind of hook thing I have here. I feel like it's going down a bit more than what I want it to. And I just feel like I need it to just kind of more so go straight. Like that. And then we will go back in with a little bit of that base. There we go. And then I think I'm going to bring the black up just a bit more. Just to make sure that when my eyes open, just the way the shape is, just really complements everything. had a little black on my finger, but I can clean that up in a moment. But anyways, looks messy, but I think we're going to fill, let me just double check. Yeah, I'm gonna like kind of fill in here. I'm gonna keep it really like light on like the wing just because I don't, like we're gonna go in with lighter shades to like help blend down from that. So I don't want the wing to be too pigmented. Hopefully that makes sense. Just gonna clean up some of this smudged black. And then we'll put a bit more cosmetic base down. All right, yeah, we're gonna make sure the outer corner is pretty black. Should be careful. I'm definitely getting like some fallout, even though I'm tapping off my brush. So be aware. Constant battle of trying to make sure that I'm in frame, especially when I'm doing like super fiddly detail work where I'm trying to be like really careful and I've got like a mirror like right up. All right, so we have that, and then we are going to take, I think I'm going to take this same brush that we used for Heavenly Realm. Actually, I think I have another one of those. Yeah, we'll grab another one. It's the same brush, but it's just clean. And I'm going to grab a little bit of Sanctuary, and we're just going to put a little bit of that right on either side. And then even though we're going to like end up covering it up with shimmer, I'm just going to have some pigment down. I'm going to lay down some of the Heavenly Realm shade. But even just to like do like a matte, like that would be really pretty. But I do want to use the shimmer. Actually, before we go into the lid, I'm also going to take some of the Sanctuary dark green. And I'm going to place that on the outer corner, sort of on top of the black, and also along the wing, starting to like blend out a bit. And then I am going to take the blending side of the brush that we used with Heavenly Realm and dip into Heavenly Realm. And I'm going to start to, actually before I do that, I feel like some major wiping needs to be done. I feel like I have to go back in with my foundation and powder a bit. And then go in with Heavenly Realm and start just doing a heavy blend down. We're going to have to finesse like the black in that wing a bit, just so that way it goes. So that way the blend is smooth. I'm going to grab like a little flat shader brush, some sort of a Morphe collab one. I don't know why I meant to dip into the black. I'm just going to re-intensify. I think I have this one spot that just like nothing's wanting to stick. Okay, I went and I added some Onyx Melt Cosmetics gel liner in Onyx to my waterline and lower lash line, and I put a little bit of center on top just to set it. And then I'm going to go in with a bit of Sanctuary just to start blending that down a little bit. And we are going for something like a little bit more blown out on the bottom if that hasn't already been made obvious. Then start blowing out even more with Heavenly Realm. Take a little bit more Sanctuary. Make sure I don't lose that depth. And then I need some more of Center. Just to be able to like make sure this black is blending into everything. Okay, so we've got the shadows basically finished. Very blended out and like kind of grungy and blown out on the bottom in comparison to how like sort of just like structured and cut out the top is, but I kind of dig it. I think it's kind of fun. So I am now going to go in with a shimmer, and of course I applied my NYX glitter glue down first. That's what I always do. And I'm going to go in with this gorgeous green shimmer here called Ornate. I've swatched it, but I haven't put on my eyes before, so I just think it'll really go with this look well. If you like, you could always go with something else, obviously, if you didn't want to do it so like monochromatic, but I'm down for a monochromatic green look. So I'm going to go with the same brush that I applied the glitter glue with. This is just like a flat paint kind of round brush. And I'm going to pick up Ornate directly on that. And we're going to put that all over the lid. Kind of up to like where we have the crease, like, sorry, like the edge there. Going out this way a bit. Definitely want the shimmer to have its moment. And then, just because we want to make sure everything blends well, tapping it off really good, I'm going to take that flat shader brush I used with black earlier with the center shade, and I'm going to go in just a tinch. Gosh, I can use words. Just a tinch with this one to make sure it's all just super pigmented and it just like that the blend is good. So I'm going to do that on the other eye. I might put like a little shimmer. Should I? Yeah, I think, you know what I'm going to do? I know it's not the palette, but sue me. I'm going to pull in something from my Noctilucent Blend Bunny Cosmetics highlight palette, and I am going to grab some sort of a little brush. Something. Sure, let's try this. Just another flat shader. And I think I'm going to go into Transient, this one right here in the middle. Kind of a iridescent, kind of a green highlight. And I think that will just add a nice little kind of sparkle pop to the inner corner slash lower lash line. Yeah. So if you don't like using, like, combining other stuff, like, obviously don't do this. Unfortunately, like, the palette doesn't have, like, other than like this one shade Halo, but it's like purpley. It doesn't have like a lot of like really light shimmers. So I don't mind pulling something else in, especially like, you know, I've got this, I use this as a highlight palette, but I also just love using it to combine with other palettes just to add something really light and sparkly, because I just generally think the look needs it. So we're going to go do this to the other eye. I'm going to like just finish everything. So I'll put a highlighter on, lip, lashes, all that, and we'll come back to show you the finished look. Here is the finished third look in my 3 Looks 1 palette using the Resurrection palette from Wicked Widow Beauty. Once again, let's look at the absolute stunning gorgeousness that is inside. If you haven't caught it, like, I do have 2 other videos, if I didn't mention earlier, on my channel using this palette. So there's 2 other looks too you can see me create using this. But yeah, it was just so much fun to delve into the palette a bit more, play with some more shades, especially give some love to some that I hadn't used yet. I can really say that I've used just about every shade in this palette now. And oh my gosh, I just love it so much. Like this, there's a reason why this was like a lot of people's top palette of 2023. It was definitely mine. I still adore it, and I can't say enough good things about this. I do believe it is currently available for a pre-order. I'm not 100% sure of the details. I'll try to have stuff in my description box just about that. I don't know if it's really something like that's going to be like around forever. So like I don't know. This could be like the pre-order that's up, could be sort of like your last chance to get it for a while. So if you've been humming and hawing about this, I recommend getting your hands on it, or even just trying Wicked Widow Beauty in general. Like, they are truly amazing. It is such a lovely brand. I just love their concepts, their color stories, and I just think they're awesome. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching me recreate this. Lashes are just some Ioni ones. I think I still have the box actually. This is one of the ones where it doesn't like really have like a sort of theme, like a name or whatever. It just says Crisscross Cat Eye Long, and it's got like the butterflies on it and stuff. So that's what style that is. For my lips, I went in with Melt Perfectionist Lip Liner in Cashmere, and then also one of my all-time favorite nude lips, which is also by Melt, and this is in Ho Is Life. I absolutely adore this lipstick. I have to stop myself from using it constantly. Yeah. Anyways, that is it. It was really fun challenging myself to try to recreate this look by Katie Cat Meow. If you haven't checked her out already, I highly recommend going and giving her a check out and giving her a follow. She is such an amazing artist. She just does like out of this world makeup looks, and it just, you know, I think a lot of people do appreciate her, but I still think that she's even still underrated for the amount of talent that she has, and just, you know, just what she does. So I definitely think you should go over and give her some support. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you know the drill, all the things you can do just to help out my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe. I'd love to have you stick around for more. And yeah, if you haven't already, follow me on my other socials, Spooky Mama Glam on Instagram and TikTok as well. And that's pretty much the gist of it. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. Quick little shout out to my ghost kitty cat earrings. These are from Shein. I love them. They're fun. I need to wear earrings more often again. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to cut it off there and say see you next time. Bye!